There is absolutely no ignoring it now after the Spurs' incredible win in one of the best Summer League games of all time against the Utah Jazz. There are multiple storylines that just make it the most obvious that it could be as to the next moves with the Spurs, especially involving David Jones-Garcia, Riley Minix, and specific notes from our Summer League coach Mike Noyes on Carter Bryant, and a lot more. We're going to dive into everything that happened, the box score, but most importantly, the facts that we cannot ignore about the future of the San Antonio Spurs. So much great stuff coming up on this episode of Spurs Digest, and we're going to jump straight into something about Wemby. Yes, Wemby, it's subverting the expectations there, because I want to talk about this thing from L'Equipe. I'm going to link that article down below that I spoke about last episode, but this is from Maximo Bank, who just tweeted out this thing. I'm sure you've all seen it, but I wanted to talk about it for a second, about just how bright this future looks. Not to mention the Carter Bryants, the Dylan Harpers, and even the couple of, guys who will probably get end of the roster type of contracts. Wemby himself saying, "I know that not every player in the NBA has the same ambitions, but it's obviously my dream to spend my entire career with a single franchise here in San Antonio." And again, we heard that he was ready. He was ready to go. His shoulder's fully healed. He's participating in, on-court activities now. He's not going to go to the Euros, but the fact that he said this, and I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, what do you expect him to say? He's getting an interview." No. When you say, how many superstars have you heard say this ever? How many players have you heard say this ever? "I want to stay on one team my whole career with this organization right here." You hear it sometimes. I think we heard Damian Lillard say it in Portland, but hey, that ended kind of iffy. That's not to say that this is going to end iffy, but the Spurs are already doing everything they can to make this team competitive with Victor Wembanyama. And right now, again, the roster, the insulation for him was the biggest step for him in particular this season, to have guys like Luke Kornet and Kelly Olynyk that can bear that load when he's off the floor. Not to mention incredible drafting, getting Dylan Harper a bit lucky in the lotto, but hey, we take it. Stephon Castle's looking like a home run of a pick at number 4. So to hear Wemby just say this again, I don't know. I feel like every day I couldn't possibly become a bigger fan of this team than I already am. I feel like I couldn't get more excited for the future, yet somehow I still do every single day. Gonna have to add a Wemby jersey to the background. For those of you thinking, take a guess at who you think this shirt is of in the comment section below. I think you'll probably be able to guess it by the logo, but yeah, anyway, there's a reason I don't show the back of it right now, but I do show the back of that one. Wemby coming soon, I'm sure, but yeah, lots of great stuff there as we're going to get into the next thing. But before I do, I just wanted to take a moment. We're 2.5 minutes into the video, but thank you guys for shooting us well past 9,000 subscribers. The love you showed on yesterday's video with Wemby's comments and the Devin Vassell report was unbelievable. And hey, if you're still part of the 70%, now actually below 70% that's not subscribed, hit the free button, because we got Spurs content all off season long every single day. We're aiming for 10,000 before the start of the season. So hey, if you're enjoying the content, show us some love down below. Time to get into this now, and just to show the box score of yesterday's game, and we're going to roll the highlights a little bit too. Feel free to pause, take a look at this, because I will be referencing this. We'll come back to it as well, but my goodness, what a game this was. I mean, the game of the Summer League for sure, and we're not going to break down the whole game here, because you guys probably already know what happened. We're late in the day the next day, but there's so many storylines from it that I need to get into, because it's genuinely getting, I already used the word horrifying, terrifying, scary, but it is getting scary just how good these guys look. From Riley Minix pulling a Kobe who banged, what a shot, to Dylan Harper getting that clutch play there as well, driving right to the rim, doing what he does best. There were so many storylines to follow from this game, and some of the coach Mike Noyes talked about a lot of things, and I wanted to start with Carter Bryant, because Carter Bryant, before I actually dive into the quote, I mean, he hasn't had an insanely good summer league. He's been playing 24 minutes a night, only averaging 6 points, only on 2 made shots a game. He's shooting 20% from the field, 16% from 3. Free throw percentage has been good, though. 80% from the line, which I do quite like to see, but 4 boards, 1 assist, but 1.6 blocks. He's been doing what he needs to do on defense, and Mike Noyes spoke about it, because we saw a lot of people talking about Carter Bryant's defense, but he said, look, I couldn't be less worried about him. He's going to make shots. He's an NBA player. With our roster, we hope he competes for playing time. He brings a lot to the table, and it's not just on the defensive end. And I just love this. Just putting to bed all these worries about Carter Bryant shooting. Because, look, I said this in last video, and I saw a lot of you guys agree, where it's at the NBA level, a guy like Carter Bryant is not going to have to try and create as much as he has in this summer league. There's been a lot of games, you see 6, 7, 8, 11 field goal attempts. And some of it is him really trying to show off that, yeah, look, I'm a first round talent. I got this. But in the NBA, he's never going to take that many shots in a game, right? Especially his rookie season. I see him taking a couple of spot up threes and a couple of cuts, 3, 4, 5 field goal attempts a game if he's getting consistent minutes, while being the guy that you deploy to be an absolute crap disturber on defense while just annoying the other team. And I see his NBA ceiling being very high, of course, as he develops his on-ball skills, which did look a bit rough in the summer league. But his three-point shot looks good enough as is. The stroke looks good. He's made a couple of threes after the whistle as well, so these numbers are not fully representative of actually what he's making in these games, but I love it that the Spurs are like, look, I'm not worried. This guy's going to be great. I have full faith in Carter Bryant. Very excited to see how this evolves further into the future, but this is not the main thing I wanted to talk about. We got to talk about two specific guys, and I think I saw it. TSR Sports posted again, another great Spurs channel if you want to go check it out. Or TSR, sorry. Anyway, but yeah, there's been talk about Riley Minix and David Jones-Garcia, but I wanted to dive into specific quotes about the guys, again, from our summer league coach, because to me it's obvious. It's obvious that these guys not only deserve roster spots for the San Antonio Spurs, but that the San Antonio Spurs, again, you put people in the right system, the attitudes that these guys show, it's obvious which kind of guys will click with the San Antonio Spurs organization. We heard from Stephon Castle that David Jones-Garcia is absolutely hilarious. And look, Riley Minix, too, has been able to show extra aspects of his game that I think we didn't fully realize before. Because, again, he had a hurt shoulder. He only played a little tiny bit with San Antonio this year, mostly in Austin. But I want to just highlight the quote here. Offensive efficiency is there for Riley Minix. That's, yeah, no doubt about that. That's for sure. But he said, I actually thought he might have been our best on-ball defender tonight. The second half, he had some slip-ups, but in the first half, he was phenomenal. And, for me, it's really easy to watch the highlights of this game and just to remember this. But while watching the game, I gotta be honest, yeah, Riley Minix, he looked pretty solid, but I wasn't really focusing on the defense. But as I thought back about it, you're focusing on guys like Carter Bryant, a guy like Harrison Ingram, who, again, he had a great game this time out, 4 for 9, shooting 14 rebounds, 6 assists. Harrison Ingram getting that many rebounds at his size, I still think is absolutely mind-blowing. I'm really glad he got that game, and he's the one that made this great pass into Minix, but watching him for his defense, Carter Bryant for their defense, those are people I'm watching. But Riley Minix was one of these guys that was so underrated defensively. And again, his shot making ability is unbelievable. There's a reason he was a fan favorite summer league last year, training camp. We want him to be on the team. And you look at the kind of performance, 4 for 10 from the field, 50% from 3, 3 for 3 from the line, 13 and 6 with 2 blocks. He's a guy that I think could be a very good, if not two-way, end of the bench kind of guy. And again, we still got a couple of roster spots to fill. We're at 13 out of 15. And I'm not saying that he needs to get a roster spot to be that third string power forward, but I think that there could be a world where Riley Minix does that, because the defense that he has showed in the summer league, honestly, I expected him to be okay, but I thought he's been better than expected, which is awesome to see. And again, the shot making is always going to be there. Every time he took a 3, I'd be watching the game, I'd say, that's in. It wasn't always correct, but a lot of the time it was. So I really like it for Riley Minix. To me, he is the front runner at this point to get one of these last 2 roster spots. And the only reason I say that is because David Jones-Garcia, well, it's not just the Spurs that are going to be going after him. And as our summer league coach said, he's Jones-Garcia talking about the best player in summer league. He has been phenomenal. Whatever contract he gets coming out of summer league, he deserves every penny. And look, there's no doubt. I mean, this dude might get summer league MVP. He probably deserves it. Though, to be fair, even last night, Kyle Filipowski has been on an absolute tear for the Utah Jazz. What a weird situation that is with him. But anyway, go look into Kyle Filipowski stuff if you haven't before. Respect to his game, though. David Jones-Garcia, 18 points, then 25, 25, 24, 21, and then this last game, off the bench, 28, 6, and 4, with 1 steal on 10 for 19 shooting. It was really just that first game where he looked inefficient. And we also heard our summer league coach say, he took a step back, not a step back, but he kind of stepped out of the limelight because Dylan Harper came in. He was going to start. Jones-Garcia moved to the bench, still was absolutely balling out. The dude looks like an NBA level player right now. Do I think he looks like an NBA star? No, because I think, again, and I've said this before, I don't want to downplay what David Jones-Garcia is doing, because I think he deserves a contract. Someone's going to give him a contract. I do wonder if some of the stuff he's doing in summer league is going to fly in the NBA. We'll have to wait and see, but he's going to get a contract. And I think there's going to be a lot of teams going to sign him. And look, he has some connections with the Spurs there. Again, Stephon Castle said he's hilarious. Castle got to meet him last year and again this year. There he is again, banging that 3. I think the Spurs are going to be one of these teams in negotiations with him. But honestly, let me know, would it even shock you if another team came out of maybe not nowhere and just offered him a bigger contract than San Antonio's willing to do? I mean, look, I don't think he's going to get anything crazy, but maybe some teams are going to be willing to sign him to a one-way deal as opposed to a two-way deal, right? Like, where they're just like, hey, stick with our NBA team, we're going to give you NBA minutes versus, hey, we want you on a two-way deal, go dominate the G League again, where you had a couple 50 bombs last year, averaging like 24 points a game. That could be the case too. But to me, regardless, it's obvious that Riley Minix is, to me, going to be like a nice key player here for the San Antonio Spurs going forward. Harrison Ingram had a great game. I'm still not sold on him after the rest of his summer league and knowing what I wanted to see from him, and I didn't really see it. But David Jones-Garcia, to me, star of this summer league right now. Someone's going to snatch him up, and I hope it's the Spurs, but I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on both these guys, the comments on Carter Bryant, Victor Wembanyama, all that down below, because that'll do it for this jam-packed episode of Spurs Digest. And if you enjoyed, as always, hey, please just hit that free subscribe button. I mean, you guys have been supporting us. It's incredible. It means the world to us. That 10,000 sub mark is so close, and we only have you guys to thank, because without you, there is no Spurs Digest. There is no daily YouTube videos, so thank you very, very much. I've been your host, Josh Gosse, and I'll catch you in the next one.